Hello my friends, welcome back. More stories today. It is Math Monday. So, one of our stories will have a math activity to go with it down below. We're doing book bag number 10 today. In this book bag, we have Bigmama by Donald Cruz. We have Lola at the Library by Anna McQuinn and Rosalind Beardshaw. And then finally, our last book is 100th Day Worries by Marguerite Kuehl, illustrated by Arthur Howard. Kuehler, I think, by Marguerite Kuehler. Do you remember our 100th day of school? Do you remember when we put 100 handprints on that big banner that said 100 days smarter? That was a fun day. And we made groups of 10 with the Cheerios with our cereal, and you guys had 100 Cheerio necklaces. I remember that. That was fun. That was a lot of counting that we did. Okie dokie. Bigmama by Donald Cruz. Bigmama by Donald Cruz. Did you see her? Did you see Bigmama? We called our grandma Bigmama. Not that she was big, but she was Mama's mama. Every summer we went to see her. Mama, my sisters, my brothers, and me. Daddy had to work. He'd come later. It took 3 days and 2 nights on the train. Now we were nearly there. Cottondale, Cottondale, next station to stop, Cottondale, yelled the conductor to the nearly empty train. Don't leave no babies on this train. He made the same joke year after year. My Uncle Slank came for us by car. We always hoped he'd come with the horse and wagon, but he never did. We crossed back over the train tracks, a turn or two along the red dirt road, and onto the lane in front of Bigmama's house. Big Mama and Big Papa were waiting for us on the porch. There were hugs and kisses, and oh my, how you've grown. And how tall are you? Is this you? Then off with our shoes and socks. We wouldn't need them much for the next few days. Now to see that nothing had changed. In the hall, the sewing machine that you had to pedal like a bicycle. The big clock over the fireplace, the wind-up record player, the kerosene lamps, and the Sears Roebuck catalogs. Our room, my brother's and mine, and Uncle Slank's. Across the hall, the room where my sisters and Mama slept. Next to it, Big Mama's and Big Papa's room. Then to the back porch. Off the porch, there were 3 rooms, the tiny extra room no bigger than the bed in it. None of us wanted to sleep in there alone. The dining room with the big round table and chairs, and next to it, the kitchen. On the porch was the washstand where we washed our hands, faces, and feet. At the end of the porch was the well. Don't fall in, we were told every year. No one ever did. We stood on tiptoe to watch the bucket go down and fill the water so that we could have a drink from the dipper that hung nearby. Everything was just the same. In the backyard was the chicken coop where Sunday dinner's chicken spent its last days. Behind the shed, full of old stuff, was the outhouse. Okay now, but scary in the dark. We stopped for a drink at the pub. We ran past the pear tree where the turkeys roosted at night. Under the tractor in front of the tool shed was a good place to look for nests with eggs in them. Next to the tool shed was the huge empty pot for making syrup from sugarcane juice. I dug some worms from the big pile of cane pulp. Wigglers were the best kind for fishing. I chose a pole. barn was another place to look for eggs. On to the stable to see Nancy and Maud. Maud was friendly, but Nancy was a biter. Down the path, past the cow pen and the pig pen to the pond. The flat-bottomed boat was still there. Plenty of water for fishing and swimming this year. Everything just as it should be. A fish! A fish! I got one! I got one! I yelled. Woo! Woo! The train whistled. Dinner time. Woo! Everybody sitting around the table that filled the room. Big Mama, Big Papa, Uncle Slank, our cousins from down the road, and all of us. We talked about what we did last year. We talked about what we were going to do this year. We talked so much, we hardly had time to eat. The night was black except for millions of stars. We could hardly sleep thinking about the things to come. Some nights, even now, I think that I might wake up in the morning and be at Big Mama's with the whole summer ahead of me. Look, he's all grown up now. The end. Now, Lola at the library. This one is written by Anna McQuinn and illustrations by Rosalind Beardshaw. Lola at the library. Lola loves Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, Lola and her mommy go to the library. The library opens at 9 o'clock, but Lola is ready to go long before that. She puts all the books she borrowed last week in her backpack. Her library card is also very important. The library is not very far away, so Lola and her mommy always walk there. Lola and her mommy give back the books from last week. The librarian buzzes them through the machine. There's a special section in the library just for children. It is really cool. Nobody ever says shh. Sometimes they're singing. Lola knows all the words and the hands for Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Sometimes there's story time. Lola loves that. After story time, Lola chooses her books. In the library, she can have any book she wants. Lola likes stories with bears and anything with shoes. There are so many, it takes ages to choose. Mommy has some books too. The librarian buzzes them through the machine, then stamps the date inside. Lola must bring them back in 2 weeks, but she will probably be back for much long before then. Lola and her mommy always get a snack after visiting the library. Mommy has a cappuccino, and Lola has juice. Whenever Lola has been good, her mommy lets her taste the foam. Then it is time to go home again. Every night, after Lola is tucked in bed, her mommy reads her a story. It is the best way to end the day. The end. Lola at the library. And our last book today, 100th Day Worries. What is she so worried about on the 100th day of school? 100th Day Worries by Marjorie Kuehler, illustrated by Arthur Howard. Jessica was a worrier. She worried about everything. She worried about losing her first tooth, and remembering her lunch money, and missing the school bus, and getting her math right. But on the 95th day of first grade, Jessica's teacher gave her something new to worry about. Next Friday will be the 100th day of school, Mr. Martin said, so I want each of you to bring in a collection of 100 things. They can be anything you want, but they should be small, like rubber bands or marbles. We'll display our collection in the hall. Immediately, Jessica began to worry. Oh no, she groaned to herself. What will I bring? All weekend long, Jessica thought and thought, but each new idea brought new worries with it. 100 ice cubes? Too melty. 100 marshmallows? Too sticky. 100 toothpicks? Too pointy. That Sunday night at dinner, Jessica asked her family for ideas. What about 100 yo-yos? Suggested Tom. That's dumb, said Jessica. Where would I get 100 yo-yos? Maybe 100 lipsticks would work, said Laura. Jessica rolled her eyes. Laura might have that many tubes of lipstick, but Jessica sure didn't. We know you'll think of something, said Mom and Dad. You have until Friday. On Monday, the 96th day of school, Jessica watched as Bobby gave Mr. Martin 5 bags of peanuts. There are 20 peanuts in each bag, Bobby explained. Great, said Mr. Martin. Why didn't I think of peanuts, Jessica wondered. On the 97th day of school, Jessica watched as Sharon piled paper clips into 10 neat stacks on Mr. Martin's desk. 100 paper clips in all, she announced. Wonderful, said Mr. Martin. How did she find so many, wondered Jessica. Let's count by tens and see if she really did bring 100 paper clips. Ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 100 paper clips. On the 98th day of school, Jessica watched as Ashley brought in 100 peppermints. I ate a few, she admitted, so I really only have 95. She promised to bring in 5 more peppermints the next day. Fantastic, said Mr. Martin. Jessica's stomach felt queasy. By the time Jessica went to bed on the 99th day of school, she still hadn't thought of anything to bring. On Friday morning, she sat at the breakfast table and stared at her cereal. Jessica, said Mom, what's wrong? Today is the last day to bring in 100 things for the 100th day of school, and I still haven't thought of the right thing, she said. I've only come up with stuff that's too melty or too sticky or too pointy. I'll be the only kid without anything to show, and everyone will make fun of me. Jessica began to cry. Don't worry, said Dad. I have an idea. Ooh. He pulled open one of the kitchen drawers. Here are some ribbons, he said, giving Jessica a handful of scraps. Jessica counted 3 red, 2 green, 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 1 striped. Mom ran down to the cellar and brought back a jar. Here are some screws, she said, dumping a pile on the table. Jessica counted 4 big, 4 small, 1 giant, and 1 tiny. Here are some rocket-shaped erasers from my collection, said Tom. 4 pink, 3 green, 2 white, and 1 yellow. Here are some beads from my necklace that broke, said Laura. 3 round, 2 oval, 2 square, and 1 shaped like a smiling cat. I'll get some buttons from my shirt drawer, said Dad. He found 5 black, 3 brown, and 2 white. Here's some loose change from my purse, said Mom. 10 pennies and 10 nickels. Here are 10 barrettes I don't need anymore, said Laura. Here are some rocks from Iggy's aquarium, said Tom. 6 brown, 3 green, and 1 sparkly. How much stuff do we have so far? Asked Mom. Jessica looked at the stuff on the table. It wasn't 100 of anything, but at least she had something to show. Something was better than nothing. There's the bus, said Mom. Here's a bag for your things. Don't forget your lunch. Jessica shoved everything into the bag and ran to catch the bus. All morning, Jessica thought about the stuff in the bag. She tried to remember the things her family had given her. 10 ribbons, 10 screws, 10 erasers, 10 beads, 10 buttons, 10 pennies, 10 nickels, 10 barrettes, 10 rocks. That came to 90. She needed 10 more. Where could she get 10 more things? Oh no, here came her worries again. At lunch, Jessica found a note in her lunchbox. Sweetie, we'll help you find more stuff this weekend. I'm sure Mr. Martin will understand if your collection is late. Don't worry. Love, Mom. XXXXXXXXXXXX. Those X's mean kisses. Kiss, 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 kiss. X's and O's are mean hugs and kisses. So maybe the X's are hugs. I don't know. Suddenly, Jessica had a great idea. She smiled to herself as she waited for lunch to be over. After story hour, Mr. Martin said it was time to put their 100 things out in the hall. What did you bring, Jessica? He asked. Here are 10 ribbons from my dad, she said. 10? asked Mr. Martin. And 10 screws from my mom, said Jessica. The other kids came over to look. And 10 erasers from my brother, and 10 beads from my sister, said Jessica. Pretty, said Anita. And here are 10 buttons from my father, and 10 pennies, and 10 nickels from my mother, and 10 barrettes from my sister, and 10 rocks from my brother's iguana's aquarium, said Jessica. Cool, said Leslie. And what's this? asked Mr. Martin. It's 10 kisses from my mom, said Jessica. See? I brought in 100 things my family gave me, said Jessica. Is that okay? Wow, said Mr. Martin. I've seen a lot of great collections from the 100th day of school, but this one, Jessica swallowed. This one is really special, said Mr. Martin. You've brought in 100 bits of love. She did it! The end. Nice! So, for today's activity, you're going to have to do something to do with math. Something to do with 100. So, the activities will be down below in the description. It'll also be on our classroom seesaw, and you can post a picture of what you do. But other than that, that's it for today. Keep an eye out for the activity. I'll see you next time for our next story. Thanks for joining me for these read-alouds. Take care of yourselves, take care of your families, take care of your neighbors, take care of your house, take care of your cousins, and enjoy the time that you have together. It's almost the end of the school year, you guys. It's almost time for summer vacation or summer break. I love you and I miss you, and I hope to see you soon.